everybody, Thomas here, Free Range Art Farm. So today we're in the apiary. It is July, obviously we're in the apiary. It's July 10th, Saturday, 2021. It's about 80 degrees, just a couple minutes after noon. Feels like a decent day. If you notice, I have an addition to my wardrobe. This is little neck fan things that, so after a couple videos ago, I said, oh my god, it's hot. Do any of you guys have any extra hacks to stay cool out in the apiary? And one of our viewers, he had suggested a Cayman Reynolds video, and if you haven't stumbled onto Cayman Reynolds, go check out his channel. He's awesome. He was talking about these things, and they're like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks on Amazon. So we're gonna give that a try today and see how well that helps. And but of course it's also not 95 degrees today, so I chose a good day to do this because 3 days ago it was 98 degrees. So today I'm gonna add a couple boxes to our resource hives, and I think I'm gonna need to feed them because I need them to build up more for winter time. And but more importantly, I'm gonna do mite checks today. I have not done, I'm gonna do the sugar shake thing. So I've not ever done the sugar shake to check for mites. You know, there's some say it's not as accurate as doing the alcohol wash. If you're not familiar with either of those, go ahead and do a search. It's just a way to check for the mite counts on your bees. Essentially, mites are on your bees, and you put them in the solution, the alcohol solution, and it actually kills the bees, and it separates the mites really well. The powdered sugar method does not kill your bees, but it doesn't give as accurate of a count over time. But it's better than doing nothing. So I'm going to try and see how the powdered sugar mite count check goes, and we'll see if we have issues with mites. I'm going to start treating here pretty soon. I think my plan is to do some oxalic acid treatments over like a 4-week period. You do those weekly for about 4 weeks, so you can go through an entire brood cycle, because the mites are inside the brood chambers, and that's where they hatch and grow. And but oxalic acid doesn't get into the cells, so it only treats mites on the outside. But if you go every week for 4 weeks, you should go through an entire brood cycle and hopefully reduce your numbers. That's the whole point. There's always going to be mites, you just want low numbers. So that's what we're going to do today, is a mite check, and I'm going to do some other checks of the hives. I don't know that I'm really going to film much of that. I'm mostly going to film the mite check with a sugar shake. I've never done it before, so we'll see how it goes. So let me know your thoughts, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. So hang on. Okay, so the sugar test consists of a little jar with a perforated lid here. This is big enough to let the mites come through, but not the bees. And we got a measuring cup. We're going to take a cup of bees, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 bees, and we'll measure out the bees. We'll dump them into the cup. We'll put the lid on, put a couple of hive tool spoonfuls of sugar in there. We'll kind of shake it around, twist it around, and let it sit for a few minutes, like a minute, minute and a half or so. And then we'll dump it into this little container here, and we'll squirt a little water on there that'll dissolve the powdered sugar, turn it clear, and we can do a mite count. I'm going to take some mites, or I'm going to take a brood frame from Pink Swarm here, and you want to do a brood frame because the mites are going to be hanging out on the brood because they're trying to get into the open cells. So I'm going to try and shake off the nurse bees. I'll shake a bunch of them into this container, then I'll dump them from this container into here and measure them, then I'll dump from here into the jar. So wish me luck. By the way, I'll probably cut this out, but I have this little tear in the finger of my glove, and I just now realized it's because when I do my bellows, I tend to put this finger right on the corner and squeeze. For whatever reason, with this hand, I don't. So that makes sense as to why that wore out. All right, this is a really good brood frame. I'm just double checking, really looking to make sure I don't see the queen. And this colony, if I remember right, has our marked queen. She's got a white dot on her. Alright, so let's give this one a shake. Well, they never like being shaken around, do they? Alright, so let's see if I got enough bees here. Not quite enough. Let's take another frame. They're all escaping. Little boogers. Alright. No queen. Alright. Alright, that's about a cup. Put them in there. Alright. Okay, so smush that in there. Mush that in there. Okay. Alright, so you can see we've got these girls coated. I might put I'm gonna put a little bit more in there. Just the stuff that fell into the bottom of this bucket here. Alright, so we'll get them kind of stirred around a little bit. And then we'll let them hang out for about a minute. It's set in the shade, so we'll just set them down there in the shade. Alright, so now this is the part that the girls don't really like at all. But this is way better than killing the bees. Alright, I see more mites than I like, I think, already. Alright, now we're going to take these girls and dump them on top here, and they're going to be cleaned off by their sisters. Alright, so, yeah, we have a lot of mites. We're going to take this water, squirt it in here. Alright. Alright. I count way too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is way too many. Let me take you off. So all those little black dots, well, not all of them. That is a high mite count. So these girls are all... I'm going to consider if this hive has this many, the other ones do as well. So there you go. That is the sugar the sugar test for mites. And again, I've got, yeah, way too many. I should have 3 or 4, maybe a little bit more. I gotta double check, but this is too high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, 16. So, well, these girls are gonna enjoy eating up this, powdered sugar. Here, girls, have at it. A little bit for you. So Pink Swarm had 16 mites in there, which is 5 about. So there's about 300 bees in that cup. I will double check my numbers. I may be remembering wrong, but I was thinking a cup of bees was about 300 bees. So you divide the number of mites by 3, and that gives you your percentage, or how many per 100 bees. So 16 divided by 3 is a little over 5, so we have about 5%. Hi, girl, you're on the outside, right? Good baby. Look at the little girl right there just saying hi. Hi. So 5 mites per 100 bees is higher than I want. It's not crazy, but I'd rather keep it, you know, a little bit lower. 3, you know, well, 0 would be great. So again, my plan is to do oxalic acid. We're going to go 4 weeks in a row. I'm going to do every single hive in the colony, in the apiary, and 4 weeks, and then we're going to, after that, I'll do another mite check, and I'll just go into the Pink Swarm again, because that's my baseline, and we'll see. Hopefully there'll be way fewer, and then, so let's see, this is middle of July, so that'll take us to the middle of August, say end of August. I will start using, I might put some apivar strips in there, so I've got some left from last year. They should still be good. I have to double check that. But I ordered, oh shucks, I can't remember the name of it, but that'll be in a future video. I ordered some of the, like a more natural mite treatment, and it's, you know, the things you just kind of slide in and you leave them in the colony for, you know, a month, however many days, and as the bees pass by, that rubs off on the bees and it kills the mites, etc., etc. So oxalic acid, then the apivar / whatever the new stuff is that I bought, and then we'll see come end of September, early October, what our mite count is going into winter. So you see, with beekeeping, you have to be a season ahead. This is to get these girls ready for winter, to overwinter, and we want mite counts to be low. This time of year, our amount of bees that are being born is going to slow down. The queen is going to slow down her laying. So the number of mites, if I don't treat, is going to stay the same and increase because they're still reproducing. So that's your ratio is going to change significantly. We're going to have fewer bees, more mites. That's where things go poorly. The bees can handle a certain amount of mites, but once it gets to be too many, the colony will be overrun with mites, and they will just simply not survive because of disease and etc. that the mites carry. Plus the mites are just feeding on the fat of the bees, and that's not good either. So we want to try and have a good survival rate. You know, last year, if you followed along, we only had 2 colonies going into winter. I was not as diligent about my mite treatments. It was my first year, I made mistakes, whatever. We learned from them. I had a very high mite count in the spring when, you know, I looked at the hives and they were both, you know, dead outs. There was tons of mites. So I kind of knew right away, hey, we got a problem. We had too many mites. So I'm going to be more aggressive this year, test more, and treat. So that's what I'm doing. I think, like I said, I'm just going to do some more hive checks. I don't think I'm going to put any of that on film. So I'm just going to do my sign off now. If I find anything cool, I will interject the cool stuff here. All right, well, I'm interjecting in the middle. So these certainly helped. I normally have just sweat dripping down off of my face, so they at least kept my face cooler. So thank you, Cayman Reynolds, for that suggestion. Just real quick, my turquoise swarm, they're still lazy. They still haven't moved up into that medium super. They're still super aggressive. That's why I'm way up here. I mean, the apiary is like, 75, 80 yards down the road there. Well, down the grass. And they followed me almost all the way up here. And I was smoking myself the entire time. But they do have a queen. I saw eggs, good looking eggs and brood pattern. So she's just an aggressive queen. We'll see what happens next spring. Hopefully they survive the winter. And if they're still super aggressive, then we'll take some measures. But anyway, just wanted to throw that in. So on with the regularly scheduled program. Did you see anything? Well, I don't even know yet. But if you did, let me know and tell me if you liked it. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you learned a little bit about mite checks and the sugar shake method. And we'll see you in the future. Be good, be well, be happy, be safe. And as always, be mindful of the bees. We need them.